Hey everyone, welcome back to another consignment update at Gardner Holgate Auction Rooms. We have loads of stuff to show you today, and we've had some really good collections in. I'm going to go as far as to say this could be the busiest week we've had in memory. What do you reckon? It's been pretty busy.
It's been pretty busy.
It's been hectic. It's been mayhem. Really good things to show you. We're not going to show you everything that's coming this week, just because we're not really going to have time to, but we will show you some highlights of things that have come in, some great collections. All of these guitars are going to be coming up for sale on the 11th of June. It's a 4-day sale, 11th to the 14th of June, but we're just focusing on guitars today. As usual, please follow us on all of our social media channels to get the latest news. And of course, if you like this content, I'm going to go straight in there and say, why not subscribe to our channel? Hit the bell icon to see the future videos, and also like this video as well. It helps share it with the community and like-minded people. But I'll let you wait till the end of the video to decide whether you want to do that. But it all helps develop our channel. It's good fun doing it, and it lets you all see what we've got coming up in these auctions. So let's take a look. Right, we are going straight in with a bang. I love these guitars.
It's one of those Dave Grohl signatures.
It's one of those Dave Grohl signatures. No, it's not, of course. This is a 1967 Gibson Trini Lopez. So one of the early artist endorsements, Mr. Trini Lopez. This was his model with the 6 on one side headstock. As Chris just said, Mr. David Grohl has brought a lot of attention to these models in recent times. Obviously this is late 60s, so you've got the trapeze rather than a stop bar. This was a later 60s feature. So obviously the serial number does confirm the year on this, and Gibson serial numbers are all over the place, but this one in particular has a serial number that can only relate to 67. But the one thing you can see on the front is we've got these witch's hat knobs, and that was a feature that did come in 67. So there we go, 67. Pots are original, pickups are original. We got the patent number sticker pickups. You'll see the pick guard is got an interesting modification on the way it's been mounted. So it's been brought in slightly and cut out a bit more, and you can see they've actually used the pickup corner screws to mount the guard. So that is a slight modification there. It is the original guard, but it has been cut down slightly. I guess a preference to move it in a bit more, maybe to help with the pick. But other things that are wrong with it, not really a lot, to be honest with you. We've got a refret, which I actually prefer. Chunkier frets makes it nice and playable, but you'll see general lacquer checking all over. But a good example, original finish, original cherry finish. We've got some buckle wear on the back, original strap buttons there, original tuners. You can see here it has been played over the years, the finish wearing away slightly there, looking a bit lighter. And of course we do have the original yellow lined case as well. Case is in good condition as well. Replacement handle, and just one more thing to mention, because it's just reminded me seeing them in the case. The saddles, so the plastic saddles, the bridge is original, but the saddles have been replaced. Just a wearing part. But yeah, a really cool original 1967 Gibson Trini Lopez. Another guitar I absolutely love. Favourite model, the SG. Although, look at the headstock. It's a Les Paul. Dun, dun. So this is the last year they had Les Paul on the headstock. Mr. Les Paul himself got very unhappy that they had gone against his traditional design and used this futuristic design. He said, that is not my guitar, that is not the guitar I designed. But there it is, a 1963 Gibson SG Junior or Les Paul Junior, whichever you want to decide for yourself is technically correct. I guess officially it was Les Paul Junior, but this is an SG Junior, and I love them. And as you will see, we got the Bigsby, which does appear to be factory. Obviously you don't see it that often, but that does appear to be a factory Bigsby. It's obviously been on there a very long time. Issues with this guitar, we do have a headstock repair. It was done a very long time ago. It was done before the owner took this guitar on in around 1992. So a very, very long time indeed. And yeah, I think it's great. Really, really nice. And talking of Bigsby tailpieces, just going back to just thought I'd quickly mention, just because it's sprung into my head, the tailpiece on the Trini Lopez. The one thing that some of you will have noticed that I didn't say at the time is it's missing its Trini Lopez little wooden block on the end for that Trini Lopez standard. So obviously it's got the trapeze tailpiece, but it's missing its wooden block and plaque that says Trini Lopez. Just this tailpiece on this has reminded me to give you that fact. But yeah, 1963 Gibson Les Paul SG Junior. And another very old Gibson. This is from the mid 1950s. I believe it's 55. This guitar has only just come in, I will say that. So I haven't really scrutinized this. But mid 50s, the big guard came in 55 on these J-50s. So I'm going to assume it's 55, circa 1955. Really nice weight, actually. You can see there's a bit of a repair to the top there. But like all Gibson guitars of this era, it's got that really nice low end thump. So yeah, no, it's a nice thing for your cowboy chords, or your finger picking, flat picking. I need to take a closer look at this, but I think the whole thing may have been refinished. But the catalogue description will be more exact. Like I said, it's only just literally an hour ago come through the door, so just in time for this video. But I think it has been refinished. Sometimes smelling them can give you the telltale. It's obviously had a pickup at some point, or there is one in there currently. But yeah, we will get the lowdown on that one and give you the full details in the catalogue description. Really nice small-bodied acoustic guitar. This is by Dave King. Dave King, a lot of acoustic followers will know exactly who Dave King is, but I think he is a well-regarded luthier in the UK, based not far from us actually, based up near Reading. But he was very, very well known for being Martin Guitars repairer, recognised UK repairer. So he's obviously very, very good. Zero cotter back and sides, and I'm led to believe that this is the only one he did in this wood. So this is the only zero cotter back and sides guitar that Dave King ever made. For what reason we don't know, but it looks like we've got a Madagascan rosewood board there, with that really, really dark streak through it, or a couple of dark streaks, very similar to Brazilian rosewood. And there it is. And what model is this?
Katrina.
It is the Katrina. There we go. The Dave King Katrina model. Very Martin influence there. And another very, very nice acoustic guitar. Based in Devon. Brook Guitars. Highly regarded again. And this is the Lamorna model. And look at that. Just a stunning thing. You could almost swim in that, that quilt. Yeah, really nice guitar, and in great condition as well. Another small-bodied acoustic guitar, and yeah, I mean, I think £1,500 to £2,000 for an absolutely phenomenal acoustic guitar. A lot of people like to go for the solid brands like Martin, Gibson and what have you, but I think if you stick to those brands only, I think you're missing out.
You never see something like that.
Never see something like this. Fantastic guitar. More Les Pauls for your viewing pleasure. Here's a Gibson Les Paul Deluxe. This one's from 1971-ish.
One-ish?
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 Yeah, well, it's... I'm going by what I've... essentially, it's something else that's just come in. So I'm going by what I've been told without actually having taken it apart yet. So... the seller, I mean, it does check out serial number and what have you from around then, but the seller has told me it's 71. I'm going to take the back off and have a look at the pots just to be certain. But yeah, 1971 Gibson Les Paul Deluxe, so an early deluxe there, with that really deep cherry sunburst finish, and it's in okay condition. I mean, it's not the best in the world. It's got some buckle wear on the back, but it's been played. Obviously there's a strap button that someone's just shoved in the back there. That could have been tidier, but there we go. It has had replacement tuners. We've got the shallow tuners, and the back of the head has been doweled, and it looks like the back of the head's been refinished as well there. But yeah, from around 1971, Gibson Les Paul Deluxe. So from 1970s to 1990s. And crazy to think, how old's this guitar now? 34 years old.
Does that makes us both feel old, I think.
Yeah. And this is, so to date, this is my favourite Les Paul to have come in, because it's a white finish Les Paul Custom. I think they're really cool. I had an option to actually buy one of these. I was telling Chris yesterday when it came in, I had an option to buy one of these for only £700.
So crazy.
And yeah, I wish I'd done it. I mean, that was actually probably the going rate for them then, to be honest with you. And to be honest with you, there's no way I could have afforded it. That being said, I did buy a brand new Epiphone Les Paul Custom for about £550. So yeah. 150 quid more and I could have had the real thing. But there it is, a 1990 Gibson Les Paul Custom in the white finish, and this has been toured extensively. The previous owner, he played in a band called Burn, who have had sort of some mild success, but he sort of went on, I think he was saying maybe three world tours with the guitar, so it's seen some action. It's a cool thing though. So this is not something that we'd usually feature. It's in the budget range. We have done budget bidding videos in the past, and we do usually feature higher end guitars, but I just thought this was really cool because it's got its original box. So an Audition guitar, now Audition branded with its original box, which I think is awesome. But there we go. So this is from the 1960s-ish, late 60s, early 70s. These were made sort of very much catalogue guitars. This is made by a company called Teisco in Japan, and yeah, these were basically what was available to most in the UK. Kind of, I guess, kind of affordable guitars, but this one's in great condition. And really the reason I'm featuring this more, the main reason I'm featuring this is just I think it's got the original box that you just never see, and this is in great condition as well. Like I've already said, these tend to be quite battered, but back in the early days it was quite difficult to get your hands on things like Strats. I mean, they weren't even until the early 60s, they weren't even being imported into the country. So yeah, this is kind of what the option to most people in the UK, but it's a cool thing, and I just love the fact that it's got that original box. The box is incredibly rare. You do see quite a few of these guitars around though, but Japanese company Teisco have a fine reputation for making guitars for the UK market. And like buses, two very similar guitars. These ones branded K, so we've got the E100, the single pickup version, and then we've got the ET200, the twin pickup version with the trem. So yeah, something for every budget and every style, I think. So you never really know what you're going to find in these auctions. Some really cool quirky things coming up as well. So we're going back to higher end things. So this is a Gibson Custom Joe Perry VOS. So artist associated guitars, even though not owned by the artist. I've said it before and I'll say it again, they tend to be good investments. So made in limited numbers. This is one of 150 of the VOS. They did 100 of the aged ones as well. The aged ones are worth significantly more. They always are. Usually you have an aged and signed by the artist run as well. So this is the Joe Perry VOS 59 reissue. Now, I think I'm right in saying that his burst. So this is a copy of the burst that Slash gave to him, I understand. Correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but yeah, it's a really good guitar, as it should be. And VOS, so the VOS ones are basically as the guitar would have appeared new when it was produced, but it's a recreation, so all the measurements and dimensions are supposedly the same as Joe Perry's original, and obviously with the tobacco burst as well. But there it is in its original case. It's essentially in, I hate saying the word mint, because someone will go and pick it up and say, you said it was mint, but look, there's a scratch that I found under my microscope. But there it is, and you can see it's actually number 3. So you tend to find that the first, let's say 10 to 20 of a run tend to be slightly worth more because of that. Number 1 always the main one, but usually they go to the artists themselves. But there is the Joe Perry 1959 Les Paul VOS. Those of you who are regular followers of our consignment updates, regular followers of our auctions, you will have seen in previous auctions we've had the Joe Bonamassa used version, aged, not Joe Bonamassa used. That'll put the price up a bit. But the Joe Bonamassa aged Gibson Custom version of this model. But this is the his gold top, the guitar that I believe it was his dad's originally, and given to him. But this is from 2013. This one, but it's in very, very good condition. So that is the Gibson production model Joe Bonamassa Les Paul gold top. Few lacquer checks around the controls, but otherwise it's in excellent condition. The Black Strat.
The Black Strat.
The Black Strat. I wish. The $3.3 million guitar. David Gilmour signature model, Fender custom shop, Black Strat. This is the NOS version, so the non-relict one. But again, this is in excellent condition. I'm a bit. If you look at our catalogue descriptions, just as a I guess a tip here, I will give a grading: excellent, very good, good, fair, poor. And I usually tend to go one down from what I actually think, because like I said, those with the microscopes will find it. But if I say it's in very good condition, I usually mean excellent. If I say excellent, it's probably more like mint. But just in case, err on the side of caution. I think the other thing with black guitars is the glossy finishes, you can sometimes get swirling marks and fingerprints and all sorts. It's difficult to really tell, but there's nothing majorly wrong with this. But like I said, it is a David Gilmour Black Strat model, and of course what you get, if we come around here, is all the extras. So you get Phil Taylor's book on the Black Strat, and the history of the David Gilmour and the Black Fender Stratocaster, and you get the whole accessory pack. I believe this one is from the Mike Eldred custom shop era, and it is. from 2010. So there we go. 2010 Fender Custom Shop David Gilmour model, the Black Strat. And here we have another artist-related guitar. We saw in the last Consignment update the Eric Clapton Production Model Artist Series Stratocaster, but this is actually a rare version of the Custom Shop Stratocaster. So there were only 100 of these made in the Antigua finish. What do you think of the Antigua finish? Let us know in the comments. I am undecided. I kind of, whenever I look at them, I think, God, that's really cool. But then I think, actually, would I want that? Would I want it? Really want it myself? But I think just because of you don't see them that often and rarity, I think it's cool. But this is a 2012 limited edition Eric Clapton Stratocaster in the Antigua finish. Again, excellent condition. Read into that what you will, but there's barely, I don't even think there's a mark on it. And if you look up on the head there, I wasn't lying, there it is. 98 is that of 100. Yes. The Eric Clapton Stratocaster, modelled on a 50s Strat, obviously. What's your favourite guitar in the cell, Chris?
This one.
Why, Chris?
What's your favourite guitar in the cell, Luke?
I don't know. I'm going to keep that to myself. There we go. Very rare now. This is the 2016 LTD by ESP Master of Puppets. I think these were £900 new, and I think, you know, value-wise, I'd predict that to make 2,000 to 3,000 at auction. But it's a shame, really, because it's a piece of art, and it almost like limits it suddenly being able to be a playable guitar. I mean, it is a playable guitar, obviously, but I think that would look quite cool on the wall. Metallica's, it does help, yeah. But Metallica's greatest album, arguably, Master of Puppets. And Chris actually plays for Metallica, Reloaded, who are arguably the UK's #1 Metallica tribute band. So if you ever see them around, go and watch them. They are very, very good, and have an international reputation. And they've even caught the radar of, I think they've caught the radar of Metallica themselves, haven't they?
Yeah, years ago.
Yeah, James Hetfield did make a comment about them. I can't remember the exact quote, but I think he basically just said, you've got to go and see them because they do it just as well as us. I don't think he did say that, but they are good. So anyway, a little bit of a plug there. Yeah, that's all right.
Hashtag not sponsored.
LTD ESP Master of Puppets. Huge Metallica fan myself, as is Chris, as you've just heard. But it comes with the certificate of authenticity. They made 400 of them, so a collectible, already a collectible, and probably a good investment collection for the future, because the assumption is they won't make any more, and Metallica are in their latter years. I keep saying to everyone that the Gibson SG is my favourite model, but then I keep forgetting about the Explorer. I'm going to say it's a close second, but very, very close. I do love them. We've just seen a Metallica guitar. This is James Hetfield on a budget. So 2005 Epiphone Explorer in the black finish, gold hardware, cool looking guitar. The one thing I do really, really like about the Epiphone Explorer and the Epiphone V is the fact they actually have a headstock that is the same as the Gibson, or near as damn it the same. I really, really dislike the headstocks on the Epiphone Les Pauls, for example, although they have improved it with their very, very modern runs. But yeah, it's a really cool thing. I love it, and yeah, they sell for reasonable money these days. I reckon £400 or £500 maybe even I'm out of touch now, but yeah, it's a cool guitar. Lovely decorative paisley case, and this is a very nice PRS. Some PRS guitars, although they're the most versatile guitar in the world. Haha. That word gets bandied around about PRSs far too much, but some PRSs do leave me a little bit cold, but this is a really nice guitar, and it's a very rare model. In fact, actually, you won't find many of them around. This is a 2011 PRS SE 58. So you've got this highly figured maple top, and I believe this is it's hazel or sort of purple hazel finish, sort of smoked finish, burst on the black finish mahogany back. There's a few very minor dings, but generally this guitar is in nearly excellent condition again. And then you have the 5708 pickups, humbucker pickups there, rosewood board, and then the bird inlays and the plush case. So really, really nice PRS guitar. Like I said, you don't see many of them around, and that is in excellent condition. So we have a genuine Blackie, not Blackie, obviously, not the, but this is a black finish Blackie. I mean, they have Eric Clapton models that they still call the Blackie Strat, even though it's not black finished, which I think is a bit odd. But anyway, this again is the Fender custom shop version, but the more commonly seen one rather than the Antigua one we saw earlier. So again, 50 spec V-necks, got the TBX tone boost, as does the Antigua and the production model, but obviously this one you get Fender custom shop noiseless pickups, and there we go. It's in very, very good condition. Black finish Eric Clapton Blackie with the original case and the paperwork inside. So this one is from 2011. There we go. Again, Mike Eldred era. We have a 1990 Charvel Fusion. There we go, with the Jackson pickups there, the locking trem. This one is generally in very good condition, silver sparkle finish. We've got a few dings to the edges, but nothing serious. Missing switch tip. We are missing a trem arm as well, but we've got just a generic oblong case. But yeah, this is a proper good super strat from circa 1990. Another Gibson custom shop Les Paul. This one is a Les Paul custom in ebony, so black beauty. So we've got the ebony finish, gold hardware, and a big chunky-ish neck. So I guess a late 50s reissue kind of thing, but this one's from 2018, and again in very, very good condition with the original case and the certificate of authenticity. Now we are in for a treat. A Nik Huber Orca 59. Look at the quilt on that. Deep blue quilt and the mahogany back and neck. And these are incredibly expensive guitars to buy new, but it's essentially Nik Huber's take on a 59. They're very, very good quality. Those who know, but like I said, they're difficult to obtain at, well, I guess on the open market in this kind of environment. We certainly don't get many of them, but that is a very, very special high-end guitar. So, in for another treat as well. Again, I've only saw one guitar by this maker before, and that is Knaggs. And I love this guitar because of the theme on it. It looks amazing. Would I own it? Oh, no. I'd probably own it, but would I play it
outside your house?
Outside my house? Probably not. But look at this.
That's amazing, man.
That's an incredible piece of artwork. So this is a Knaggs SSC T-2 model. Very, very good guitars indeed. But look at it. Just look at it.
Oh, man.
Yeah, the sparkle on it. I think this is the first time you're actually seeing this guitar.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it is an incredible thing. And I love the whole space thing. I watch endless documentaries on space and people actually guessing how the universe works.
guessing.
Yeah. No, it's all science. It's all science. It scares me trying to get my head around it. But there we go. There is the build sheet. Incredible thing. And you can see there the Galaxy by Nik Ralph. Made in 2016. Bare knuckle pickups. But yeah, the SSC T2.
He's even weighed it for you.
Even weighed it. I do kgs, not pounds though. Pounds, don't understand pounds. There we go. Really, really cool guitar. And here is my favourite guitar model. And this is the SG, but the Supreme. So the SG is my favourite model. Not necessarily the Supreme. I have a standard myself. But this is a Gibson SG Supreme. So you've got the ebony board with the diamond, split diamond inlays and the flame top. There is a ding to the top there, which is a shame, but there it is with its original case. So we have a boutique made guitar. This is Thompson guitars and is sort of a custom Telecaster. So this is fitted with bare knuckle pickups, but I guess one of the maybe unique things, I mean, you do see other Telecasters of this, is it's got the chamfered set neck thing rather than a bolt on. Really, really well done. It's nice and comfortable to get to the top end there. But this is a really, really high quality guitar. No expense spared on the parts and things. But yeah, really, really well made. So if you want I guess a more modern approach to the Telecaster with the way the neck's crafted there, yeah, it's a nice guitar. So in this Deluxe Stag gig bag,
Deluxe.
It's actually a very good guitar. Shane Haigh Custom Guitars, UK-based luthier, sort of following a degree, I think it's at Leeds University. He went on to start his own business repairing guitars, and then went on to start making them. And he makes very, very high-end boutique guitars of all different shapes and sizes. He's got sort of a fairly good client list as well, some well-known artists that he's made guitars for. This is a good quality Super Strat bolt-on neck, Super Strat body, HH, hardtail, one tone, one volume, one switch. But yeah, really good quality thing, and it is a really, really nice guitar. And I guess to have a guitar made by him now would be a lot of money, so possibly presenting a good opportunity to get one if that's the spec you're after. And in this Fender gig bag comes a Fender guitar. So you don't see many of these around. This is the Fender Noventa Telecaster from around 2022, so not very old at all. Just a single P90 type pickup, one volume, one tone. Nice and simple, little simple guard as well. Yeah, it's just a bit of a different look, isn't it? It's quite heavy. That's the only thing really. I would say maybe it is detriment for a modern guitar to be that heavy, but I guess some of the Mexican ones are. But a cool thing nonetheless, and pretty rare. You just don't see many of them around. Not often you see this kind of Gibson gig bag, but it does give away what is inside. There we go. So this is a Gibson ES-235. So again, a lesser spotted model. I think this is one of the last guitars they made in sort of this run at the Memphis factory. So there we go, 2019 in the black gloss finish, and it's kind of like it's a smaller, I guess is it the 135 or 137 model? But anyway, it's just a bit scaled down, a bit thinner, obviously a thin line. But yeah, it's a cool thing. Good condition with the original case. Don't think it's really been played much, to be perfectly honest. But just a hollow body that you can get your arm around. Look at that. You ever seen one of those before? So this is made in Japan. They are quite rare. It's the first one I've ever had, that's for sure. This is the Fender Jazzmaster, or JM Champ Mini. So a little mini electric travel guitar with built-in amp, made in Japan or crafted in Japan, mid 1990s, and it's a really sweet little thing. You don't see many of them around. For some, it might be the ultimate electric travel guitar, and you've even got the original bag to go with it as well. Another Fender modern thing, a fairly modern thing, 2015-ish was it? 14, 15. But they only made this model for 1 year. It's the Fender Modern Player short scale Telecaster, and you can see there it's got the Guild type neck pickup, humbucker neck pickup there, and just the standard Telecaster pickup. But yeah, if you're into short scale guitars, there's a really cool electric option for you. As you can see there, the Modern Player short scale Telecaster. Super strap time. This is a Charvel Pro Mod DK-22. So you've got the satin metallic blue finish, Seymour Duncan rail pickup. You've got this really nice roasted maple neck with nice fat frets for those fast licks. But it's just in nice, good, clean condition, isn't it? I love the way the input jack's there on the on the old chamfer.
I like that too.
Yeah, cool thing. So in here we have Tony Iommi's Gibson SG, or someone who was a Tony Iommi fan. Put these cross markers on.
Just about
crucifix. There we go. So this is, this is just a Gibson SG Special in black finish, and from the year 2005. So I think from my earlier videos, a lot of you will know that I've got a lot of time for the early part of the 2000s. I think great guitars from sort of 2000 to 2006, 7-ish really, before things started to get wild. But that's got some buckle marks to the back, but a good solid player. I do like this guitar actually. I think it's got a really cool finish, nice and basic. This matte sort of cream finish. They probably call it something like antique white, do they? Vintage white. But this is a Paul Reed Smith CE24, bird inlays on there. So it's I guess it's a slightly, even though US made, one of the US more budget guitars, I guess, range, lower than the Custom 24 certainly. And then you just got single volume, single tone, and the switch. Cool thing. You see from the outside of the case, this is Chapman. Rob Chapman, not Mark Chapman. I always say for some reason. Must be my love of sport as well, Mark Chapman. But no, Rob Chapman, I do follow him myself. And as I've probably said in previous videos, I remember seeing him in my hometown, because he is a play, because he is a local lad. But this is one of the this is the ML3 Traditional, made in Korea, and I believe this is one of the early ones, the original series, 2016.
I think that's like the first year for them, isn't it? And I think the serial's quite low on it as well. It's not like that Ghost Track that we had, which was like number 30 or something ridiculous.
So yeah, the serial number would indicate that this is 278. It's a 278th Chapman guitar made. The serial number would suggest. But there you go. You've got the natural body, which I believe is probably something like Swamp Ash, and yeah, it's just classic Chapman design, reverse headstock, and the figure of 8 infinity logo on the 12th fret. But there we go, with his original case, a Rob Chapman ML3 Traditional. What more do you need? One pickup. It's probably got one too many knobs, but I can forgive a tone knob. Don't use them myself. But this is the Joe Bonamassa Firebird 1. There we go. Rare guitars these now. They were made in fairly limited numbers, and with the Artists Association they have gone up in value. I think I think almost doubled in price now from what they were originally, but they are really cool. I do love the Thunderbird, not the Thunderbird, the Firebird ones, and we've got the original gig bag with all the Joe Bonamassa logos, so another artist associated guitar, and it is a cool thing. And last one for today, a bit of a briefer consignment update today because of our workload, but here we go. Bit more on a budget, but maybe a little bit of a tease for something that's coming up very, very soon. Announcements to come shortly. But this is a PRS SE Bernie Marsden model with the spouted maple top, the 3-in-a-line controls there. But yeah, artist endorsed PRS Bernie Marsden, had the association with PRS guitars for a long time, and there it is in really good, fantastic condition really, and it's got a look about it, hasn't it? But there we go. But watch this space for further announcements in relation to this guitar. So there we go, ladies and gents, thank you for tuning in to this week's episode. I think you'll all agree that was a really nice eclectic mix to suit everyone's tastes. And what was your favourite thing? Let us know in the comments. As usual, if you do like these videos, please do remember to subscribe to the channel, like the video, hit the bell icon for future videos. We do occasionally do a bonus video. Not sure if we'll do one next week. We did do the one this week with an under the hood of the 1962 Fender Stratocaster. If we have anything that's worthy of doing that, of course, we will do it. But yeah, go back and have a look at that video. And of course, check out our previous consignment update for the sale as well. So the sale is the 11th to the 14th of June. Follow us on all our social media channels for all the latest news. Sign up to the mailing list. But for now, thank you very much for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.